What's up, guys? Abide Outdoors.
I'm ready to kick off the full Abide Outdoors. This is just a little taste of what we're wanting to do soon.
We're not going to talk about being a dad right here.
We just came out of that, didn't we?
We just came out of this. If you need to learn how to be a better dad, you need to go watch Abide Men's Discipleship. We're wanting to talk deer hunting a little bit.
Yeah, but out of parenting, we talked about patience.
We did talk about patience. And when it comes to being a deer hunter, you got to have patience.
Oh, man, yeah.
For all the deer hunters out there that know, patience is a big deal.
Fresh story, just this last season.
We love deer hunting, don't we?
Yeah. This last season, you had to walk in some patience, man.
How important is it to have a good friend when you're deer hunting?
Well, one of the truest parts of patience is a friend that both of us, there's a spot we like to hunt, and we really tried to stay out of there until the rut. And that's patience, Bo.
We got some real good friends. We got some good guys we hunt with.
Oh, man, they're our best
Let's
friends.
name drop real quick. John Crawford, Daniel Pittman. Help me out.
Tyler, Bobby, Ryan Ash, Corey, Alex,
and
Anthony, who is
last but not the least, Anthony.
And Ogo, my dad.
Yeah, your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. The Dr. John.
Good buddy Cameron hunts with us some.
Yeah. Dr. John set up so much of this hunt. A friend of ours that he was connected with, and over the years we were able to get some land with Anthony. And what's really cool is we're gonna have Anthony on here soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna have Anthony on here. But so here, I'm glad you're in my life as far as deer hunting is concerned too, because I had something happen to me this year. Listen, it's good. You need friends in your life because you just need friends in your life. I've got a small circle when it comes to my friends and stuff like that, because not a lot of people can put up with me.
That's
But
true.
but when we're deer hunting, things aren't always going to go the way you thought they would when you're deer hunting.
Oh, no, man. No. And, honestly, you need to have a friend that in the moment they're thinking clear.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs a friend that when you go, I'm not thinking clear, call that guy.
Because when the
because
crap
I'm not
hits
thinking
the fan
clear. Yeah.
while you're deer hunting,
Well, you're not even deer hunting in every area of life.
you
Man,
need
you're
somebody
mad.
that's going to be like, hey, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something. When the wheels start flying off, literally, I had wheel fly off one now. But when things start going crazy and things don't go exactly how you thought they would, you need somebody, a third party, so to speak, somebody that's just like, hey, bud, from the outside looking in, I got you back. Come here. Let's observe this. For an example, what day was it? Was it November 5th, maybe?
I think 4th, 5th, something like that.
November 5th. We had just got back from Kentucky. We went on a 3-day Kentucky hunt. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty good hunt. We enjoyed it, had some good fellowship. Good friend of ours, Jason Brownie, we went hunting with him. There's just some other pastors and stuff like that. But we
went into kill mode. The rut was kicking in Illinois.
Yeah, we knew what was coming up, and we was doing doe patrol in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. We was putting some hurting on some does, and but the whole time while we was hunting in Kentucky, I don't know if you remember, but I was like, dude, I had every intention. I said, I know exactly where I'm going.
I'm already tagged out.
You are tagged out because
I shot
you went
Halloween
the week before.
Yeah, Halloween's my weekend.
Shot
I love
a good 151.
Something like that.
I remember it was 151 because I remember what my score
was.
was.
Oh, yeah.
Shot a nice 151.
8 point.
Yep, we got a little footage of that. We might can load that up one day. But good buck. He was a good solid 8, wasn't he?
Yeah, great 8. Yeah, great 8.
But so go to Kentucky, do that thing. But while we're in Kentucky, I'm like, dude,
I'm ready to be in the tree.
I know where we're going, Josh. And I kept telling you, I know exactly where I'm going. It was the year prior, it was the last spot that I hunted. You remember?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, on that day, the rut absolutely broke.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in ruts where it'd been like a trickle rut, but then there's a rut like
in
a
one
light
day.
switch.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we'd been hunting, and we'd seen a little pre-rut activity and this and that, but then all of a sudden, a hot doe came through, and 8 different bucks was chasing this doe.
Me and Anthony hung the stand in that tree knowing this is going to be November 24 rut. This is a rut stand. Stay out of there.
Hardwood Ridge,
Stay out of there. We know they're
travel
in there.
corridor, old roadbed.
Don't booger it. And so you sure enough, we come from Kentucky first morning. And here's the thing that the plan was, that's where you're going to be. That's where I would be. I'm already tagged out. So let's do this. I'm going to sit over your shoulder. I already set a camera stand up when I hung the stand.
Yeah, you did.
And I said, I'm going to be over the shoulder. You're going to kill first hunt. Let's do this. And you said, nah, man. You said, go scout for me.
Now, taking
And I get it.
consideration, I knew where I was going. I knew I wanted to go sit here, but take them to where I told you to go scout. To.
It's a great spot, Kill Tree. But the
Kill
truth
Tree,
is,
what happened off of this spot? We just hung a stand in this little funnel in this place that's like a 400-acre CRP with some just in bucks. What was killed? What walked up under that stand that I wanted you to go scout the year before?
some big deer, man.
No, not just some big
A
deer.
giant 8. What did he score? What did that 8 score?
167.
Yeah. It's a big 8.
167-inch 8-pointer.
He was a big 8.
We'll pop a picture of the neighbor actually harvested.
And so it was a great deer, but I so bad. I had that gut feeling of going,
Yeah.
we've stayed out of here all preseason. I hunted at opening week, but then nobody got back into it. Dude, I hung a 2-man stand. My camera arm's already in the tree. Like, come on. And you're like,
And I've been thinking about this stand ever since I got out of it the year prior.
All right,
I
so
had
you-
to
so
leave
you-
on that day.
So you go in the first morning of our rut hunt. What happens?
So I'm sitting there, pristine November morning. I look down in this hardwood ridge, about 150 yards down the ridge, and I see there's still some canopy. So I see some deer. I see some deer movement down about 150 yards. So I put my binos up. I see some legs up under the canopy, and I just keep glancing. And all of a sudden, I see this about 125-inch 8-pointer. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not trying to be like I'm better than anything, but that's not where they're.
We've killed a lot of those.
We're not there for 125 inches.
Yeah.
It's a great looking
Holding off
buck.
on a good
He's a
deer.
pretty 2-year-old. He's going to be something in the future. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So I watch him for like 5-10 minutes. He's just chewing on some acorns. And now we got some pictures of some bucks in the area. Krabs Jr., Framey,
So some 150s, 160s.
150.
Yeah.
There's one that we called the main event,
Yeah.
pushing what, 170?
Easy. Yeah. Solid.
170-inch deer. So and then there's some other deer in there. There's one we call crab claw, or wishbone. We called him wishbone.
Yeah.
Another 170-inch deer, big deer. But anyway, so I'm sitting there pretty November morning, sitting there see the legs moving. I watch it for about 10 minutes. So I finally just put my binos up and I'm just kind of watching this road bed. Some turkeys start flying down, getting all in my business, right up under me. I've never seen a turkey fight like that. Never. There's probably 30 turkeys, 30 gobblers, toms, all together. And they start fighting and carry on a ruckus. And it's the worst fight I've ever seen in my life when it comes to turkey. Anyway, they start moving off. And I wanted them to move off because they was just making so much noise. I actually got my rattle horns and I started rattling them together right beside turkey. And they still didn't care. Anyway, so they get gone, and I'm sitting there like 10, 15 minutes, and I'm like, well, I wonder what that deer's doing. So I just kind of put my binos up, and I look back down this ridge, and I see more legs down there. And I'm like, okay, what we got going on here? And I catch a glimpse of a main frame right side of a deer that wasn't that 125. I was like, okay. And I couldn't tell exactly what deer it was, but I knew it was a big buck. I took my grunt call out, too far, too windy, couldn't hear me. So I get my horns out. This is actually shed off of this buck the year before, but I get my horns out, and I'm like, well, they can't hear me. So I crack my horns together, and when I crack those horns together, I put my horns down, and I look down in the binos, and when I look down in the binos, there's he's the one we call Framey.
Big old frame day.
What do you think he goes?
160.
Yeah. He is a main frame 8 mass. And if you've ever seen a pristine picture of a neck swollen buck looking straight at the camera frame,
Straight rut.
this buck is looking up the ridge. He's not pinned me. He's not he doesn't know where I'm at. He just knows the direction where that sound came from. Dude, he is staring a hole through that direction. And I got my binos up and I'm looking and I see this buck just looking hard. I'm like, that's him. That's my buck. And so I'm sitting there. So he's dialed in. So now I get my grunt call because he's alert. I get my grunt call and I let out a buck roar behind me, you know, kind of like. And by the time I put my grunt call back to where I look and
He's coming.
he's coming, Bo. So I'm immediately, what do we call it? We go into what?
Kill mode.
I went immediately into kill mode.
I don't care what he scores anymore. I don't want to know. I don't know stickers, kickers. I'm looking at my hole where to shoot.
I've got this buck. We've named this buck. I know the stand. I know where he's coming. So he starts coming up the ridge toward me. Well, he comes on the trail at 34 yards. And when he comes on, they call these things called Russian olives. Mm-hmm. We call them mountain laurels up here, but there's like a Russian olive up there. He steps out. I've got no shot. He's about to give me another 34-yard shot. And he's about to get above me and maybe get my win. So I'm getting ready, and I'm in kill mode, and he gets ready to step out into my lane, and when he does, he turns around and looks behind him. Now, I've not seen anything going on behind this deer because I am so in kill mode, and it is what it is. He turned around and looks behind him, and when he does, Josh, I just, without taking my head off the position of him, I just turn my eyes. And when I turn my eyes and look, I see a buck. And I'm like, what is that? We've not got a picture of this buck in this area. I turn around and look, and there is a buck looking at me, the widest buck I've ever seen in my life. 25-inch inside mainframe, big old 8-pointer.
And by the way, framey is 20, 21 inches. I mean, he's got a gorgeous frame, big frame. And for you to say a big frame deer, oh, you're looking at a deer called framey.
Yep. And this is how it worked on me. As soon as I seen my buck, I forgot framey was there because I've never seen a buck this wide. So this buck walks framey off, okay? And still hasn't given me a shot. Ends up walking behind me. I get turned around in my stand, finally get pulled back on this buck. He's pawing a scrape.
About 30 yards. That scrape behind the tree.
He's pawing a scrape. Yep. And I pull back, get my pin on it, squeeze off. New broadhead, by the way, was using those beast broadheads. Heard thump. You know, I heard a pop, a definite pop. I was like, all right, got him. So he makes the god-awfulest sound running through the woods. Just no.
Oh, breaking, snapping.
Snapping. And so I immediately text you. You know, I get down. I'm like, you know.
Got him.
I'm good until after the shot. Like when I'm in kill mode, I'm pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's after shot I get the jelly legs. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. That's when I lose it, after the shot.
After shot usually gets.
And you know how I wanted to be happy, but I was also so mad that I wasn't over the shoulder like I was supposed to be.
I told you to go scout another place for me.
That's on you, bro.
That's on me.
But, so I was like, you said, I got good blood.
I went and checked where the arrow was. I found blood, but I did find some guts.
Yep.
And so I immediately walked back out, and I said, I'm just going to wait on you.
And this is the place where we call, as a group of friends, you're beginning the stages.
Yeah. Give me the stages real quick.
And so, like, the stages of grief is denial, disbelief. I mean, there's been times
start questioning.
I've literally thought,
everything.
did I even hit the deer?
If you don't see the deer fall.
You'll start going through the stages where, I mean.
Do I even know how to shoot a bow anymore?
Do you know anger? I mean, you've shot a giant deer, and now you're angry. I mean, you go through the stages of, you're not stable. Have you ever
thought about doing a swan dive out of a deer stand?
Oh, so many times. And so
the stages will get you there.
You talked about patience. We talked about in a parenting podcast right before this, but we need patience and we need buddies that help us when we're not thinking straight. When you kill a deer, you better believe and know that you have somebody who's thinking straight, because you ain't.
So,
and by the way, I want to give a shout out of our like an older brother to us, one of our best friends, John Crawford, Dr. John. He has killed a lot of great mature deer, and he is the one that has kind of coined the stages, and it's a real thing. And he's been the friend to me in Kansas a few times. Talked me off the ledge. He talked me off the swan dive. I mean, to the point one time I go, you know what, that deer's going to live. And he goes, you shot him with a 2-blade Rage. And I was like, yeah, but I think I'd caught him a little back. And he goes, how about this? You get on all fours and let me shoot you with a Rage. And I go, no. He goes, why? I said, because it'll kill me. He goes, exactly. You're not thinking straight. So I shout out to John Crawford. You were a brother and a friend to me in the stages when I needed it.
Because we lose our minds sometimes.
And so then all of a sudden, you go into this, I think we should go, let's just go a little bit. And I'm
so I wait on you, obviously. You know, I wait on you. You come walking to the stand and like you're not in the mode I'm in. I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
I know what mode you're in, what mode I've got to be in. That's what a good friend is.
So we go and
because by the way, when you release the arrow, that's when the hunt begins.
Sure.
That's when it's really hunting right here.
And we're going back why you need a good bud. Because we go and we find my arrow, we find the blood, and guess what's on the arrow? It's got plenty of guts and hair on it. And
the one thing you keep saying
what was I like?
You keep saying, biggest deer I've ever seen, widest deer. Dude, I can't wait to see. You can't see this. You got to see this deer. Like you want to just see the deer.
It's like I got marching orders. I'm like, let's go.
And so yours like, I got to go get the deer. Got to get the deer. Got to get the deer. And I'm not got to get the deer mode. We've got to do the right thing.
Yep.
And you go, dude, I want to go see this deer. And
so we start walking a little bit, and it was apparent.
And when you say a little bit, 20 yards, you said, let me see if he opened up. And I was like, we're not going to go much further than 20 yards.
But
we go 20 yards.
Was it apparent? So we nicknamed this deer. What did we nickname it?
Bulldozer. Dozer.
Yeah.
Dozer.
Why?
Because, bro, he couldn't get his fronts up.
No.
He was just dozing.
He was hurt, but he made a shooting lane for us when he was.
We didn't blood trail him. We just trailed his dozing back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so you say, I just want to go for a little ways and see. And I said, no. When in doubt.
What was I doing though? Well, I was
when
saying
in doubt, back out.
When you were saying no, what was I doing?
You were going, yeah, but you kept walking. And so I said, we'll walk 20 yards. And if he doesn't open 20 yards, we're turning back, going truck. We eat breakfast. We got all day. We'll get this deer. And you went 20 yards and said, let's go another 20 yards. I literally turned around and started walking back. Did I not? Come on, Trey. To the point I was going to have to grab you by your shirt and be like, let's get out of these woods. And you said, well, let's walk towards the truck this way.
See, I am not in my right frame of mind.
You said, well, the truck's back this way, because I'd come way around, so I didn't do anything to spook the deer. You said, let's just walk back. What? Absolutely not. You're not thinking straight. We are going to walk a mile out of our way to not booger this deer. Let's go.
I wanted to punch you in the face, by the way.
I know. And it's cool. And I'm okay with that. You were mad. You were like, hey, it's my deer. I'm like, yeah, I know. And I want you to get it, but come on. So
you got to have a good man.
We walked all the way around. And we hunt our way out. We're quiet. We purposely didn't the wind wasn't blowing.
But you know what?
Thicket.
We didn't see any blood on the roads going out or anything like that. So we had a little confidence.
Yeah, he's in there. And so we go back and eat breakfast. All right. And so the rule is, and here's the rule: when in doubt, back out. And if he's dead now, he'll be dead in 8 hours. If he's not dead now, he needs 8 hours. And so we don't know liver, gut, and so we're walking through this whole thing. And so I made you before we walked.
I am ready at this point to take the vehicle and run it into a ditch.
Okay,
because I am so stressed out.
But do you remember, and this is where we're talking about patience, and we talk about friends, and somebody who's thinking straight when you're not thinking straight. I want you to remember this. Listen to me.
Are you trying to coach me right now?
I stood at the base of the tree, and what did I say?
Dude, I don't know what you said.
You'll remember this, because I said, before the stages kick any worse and you're halfway in your right mind, promise me, we will not come back in here until 8 hours.
You said 1 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, it was going 8 hours. And I said, and if he's not within 100 yards, we back out after that. And you said, deal. Okay, deal.
Sure.
Okay,
whatever,
deal.
Man. Knowing I was lying.
So we eat breakfast. It has been 4 hours. And you go, got to go. Here we go. You put your boots on one time.
4 hours. I'm like, he dead. Let's go.
Listen, you're not thinking straight.
No, you're not thinking straight, man.
You think now some crazy thoughts. You're thinking things like a coyote might get up and jump him, and he may run 2 counties over.
Absolutely.
Your brain is thinking the stupidest. No. you know the right thing to do, but when you're in the moment, isn't it hard to do the right thing?
Yep.
When you're not thinking straight, what's
So
going
what
to
do we
kill this
do?
deer
I
now
should
is
have listened to
patience.
you, but you know why? I kept on. And that afternoon, it was like 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We was like, all right, let's go. So we go where we stopped. We start walking a little bit. We finding blood, but it's like it's just drops of blood. We find a chunk of fat. You remember that chunk of fat we found? It was like 6 inches of just fat that we found but we're finding just little drops of blood. And dude, my anxiety and stress level has pegged out at 10. And
Because one of the biggest, widest deer you've ever seen,
Widest
you
deer I've
may
ever
not be
seen.
able to put your hands on him.
yeah,
But this is where it's not just having one friend, it's having a bunch of friends.
Sure.
And so if you remember,
this is a good tactic too. So if
it-
you're a deer hunter, check this out.
so what I did is we know there's 2 exits he could go. There was 2 ways he could go.
2 roads.
And
Yep.
so when he comes out of this thicket, where he's in this Russian olive thicket, I set up my brother-in-law, Ryan Ash, and then my cousin, Cameron Harbin. I set them up on 2 different spots knowing these are the exits. These are probably going to come out one of these 2 ways. And so y'all are kind of standing here just in case. And so now you don't have just one buddy. You got a team of buddies that are helping.
So they're watching the roads, and me and you go back up into the thicket, and we start walking the blood
And
trail.
we're hunting our way through this blood trail
Yep.
slowly. And it's not good blood.
No.
It's not good blood. And
And then you hear something.
well, but you remember it was the 100 yards. And so, again, another rule, if you don't have this with your hunting buddies, make this rule now. If you've gone within 100 yards and the blood didn't change, back out.
Yeah.
And you had made that promise to me. I'll go 100 yards, and if it doesn't, we're 100 yards exactly. I'm on Onyx. We're 100 yards exactly, and I go, Trey. And you said, let's just walk our way out to the road right here. And it was only another 50 yards.
It was only.
And so it sounded reasonable. And so we're still hunting our way.
We didn't take 10 steps, and all of a sudden you heard something. And you was like, dude, I'm like Inspector Gadget looking for anything on the. I'm homed in onto anything looks out
Hands
of
and
place.
knees.
And all of a sudden I see your movement stop, and we hear a buddy. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so
all I heard was that distinct stand up out of a bed and as he's walking towards Cameron.
So we back out and we go get to Cameron, and Cameron's like, dude.
I know it's your deer because he said what? Widest deer I've ever seen in my life.
I was like, dude, how wide? He's like, widest deer I've ever seen in my life.
And he said he's hurt.
He's hurt bad. And he walks away from Cameron, and he turns right and walks up a hill.
When he went up the hill,
And
man,
he started opening up.
he did, but I don't like watching the deer go up a hill.
And I was like, I'm going home. I'm going home right now.
Actually, I didn't want you to drive the truck. I was
Dude,
scared you were going to turn it into a
I was ready
bridge.
to punch everybody in the face and do a Stone Cold Steve Stunner on you. And if I could have done it to myself, I would have.
And
I was so mad.
And you know what? What did I say? He's dead.
And I was like, no, he's not.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
You're in the stage at this point of disbelief that I didn't kill him.
The deer has been laying
Anger.
for 6 hours. We just jumped him. You know good and well, if you jump a deer, the adrenaline's going to kick in.
And the numbers of you finding him in the second bed are way worse.
I'm the worst deer hunter in the world. I've never shot a bow in my life. I'm going to take my bow and throw it up against the tree.
And per John Crawford's great teaching of a buddy needing a good buddy, he is not. I'm thinking positive now because you're not. And John, this very thing happened in my life a few times. And John's going, you got him, man. You got him. We're going to get him. We're going to get him because somebody's got to stay positive. Because if we both jump off the bridge, we're in trouble, right?
I wish I was jumping off.
Thank
the
you,
bridge.
John Crawford, for this
John
teaching.
Crawford.
So here's what happened. So what happened is
And
we
then
go
the
back.
words come out of your mouth that I didn't want to hear. You're like, dude, we're going to have to let him lay over.
We got to get out of here.
You're going to have to let him lay overnight. I was just like,
At this point, you were ready with your underwear on and just with a hatchet in your hand, start yelling, screaming, running towards the
I
direction.
would have William Wallaced him right there. I was ready to go. Braveheart.
And the whole idea was be patient.
I didn't want patience.
At this place, what will kill the deer is your patience. Get in the truck, let's go. And when we got back, everybody goes in the stand. You and I sat on the porch. We had a root beer, and we said, "Get him in the morning." And we made a plan. Here's the plan. Trey,
Did I say, hey, let's go check tonight?
you did. You said when the guys get back, we'll take our flashlights. No, Trey. No, Trey. And so I said, when guys come out, I'll have breakfast ready. They'll come in from the morning hunt.
Yeah, you did say that.
And we'll have a team of guys. So the guys at supper,
everybody gets up.
yep,
They're in the woods.
and we say, hey guys,
everybody's going.
Here's the deal. Everybody have your good morning hunt. And when you come in for breakfast, we'll have breakfast. And then we'll all go out and we are going to we're not grid searching yet, but we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure that if he exits, we see him again.
Problem is, who's the first one to always get up?
It's Ray Brown.
That's right.
And so everybody's gone. I'm actually sleeping in because I'm exhausted and tired. Been a long week. And so this is
I'm
my
up
vacation.
at 4:30.
And so you kicked the bed and said, come on, we getting him.
Hey, buddy, you about ready to go?
You're fully dressed.
Fully camoed.
All the guys are gone.
Bow in hand in the cabin.
You had your boots on. And I was like, when you kicked the bed and said, come on, let's go get him.
It's like,
I
what,
was
what
like-
time is 7:30?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
Maybe 6:30. And I'm like, what? So I get up and I have my cup of coffee. I pour a cup of coffee and I go.
Dude, I'm like throwing coffee in your face.
I go and you're fully clothed, holding your bow sitting on the couch.
Truck's already cranked up.
Truck is cranked up. That's exactly right. And you go, we're leaving. I go, that's not the plan, Trey. That is not the plan.
It's my plan.
The plan that normal people, it's thinking normal with patience, is going, no, we're going to wait. It's going to take
crazy is shooting a deer, though?
It's going to take a
it
team.
flips you, man.
And so there comes into this place that I'm telling you,
In team.
I'm telling you, the guys are waiting. We're going to keep, this is what the plan is.
Forget the guys.
And this is what you said to me. You said, you can either go with me because I'm leaving now. And I said, can I get my clothes on? You said, you have 2 minutes. And you walked out the door.
going with or without you.
And I said, good Lord.
I'm telling you,
In this
deer hunting will mess
process
you
of
up.
time, John Crawford actually texted and said, hey guys, I've
I'm
not
walking
seen a
out,
deer.
yeah.
I think my wind's wrong. I'm coming out.
I said, John, if you're not at the road in 5 minutes, you're not going to be a part of this because we're coming by.
So he's walking out. And so it just so happens, all the guys think, we got a plan. You could not stick to the plan. You're losing your mind.
I'm losing my mind.
And so we pick up John.
Big buck will do that, though.
And this is all we said was, let's start where we last saw him. We'll pick up on that blood trail. And you said, okay, yeah. And I said, we're going to go real slow. We're going to hunt our way in. And what did you say? Yeah, okay. Yeah,
that's okay. So we get up to the road, and I looked up there, and there were buzzards. You remember we seen buzzards up there? And
did you stick to the
y'all
plan?
Y'all two bird dogs start putting your nose to the ground, and y'all start looking through the trail.
Couldn't take it, could you?
And I was like, yeah, good luck with that. And I just start running up the hill.
Like a gut shot Indian. You just go,
Dude,
just
I
running up the
start
hill.
running up the hill like a deaf Jack Russell. And, you just let him out and I'm gone. And them two, I look back and they're like 50 yards behind me and they're just walking. They're looking up.
You mean
blood
doing the
trail.
right thing, blood trailing quietly.
Whatever, dude. But I did, but I got up there and buzzards start flying everywhere. And I let out this big old hoot owl because as I come up top of the hill, man, he's laying on
Dude,
his side.
God's blessed me to kill 2 deer that are 24 inches wide. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that I would ever see a deer bigger than 24 inches wide. This is 25 inches
I get him
all
back
day.
in a few weeks, so
Dude, you talking about a wide deer.
He
And
is a
old,
wide deer.
oh, he's old.
Yep.
Mature old deer. But you don't know what? Patience ended up recovering that deer.
it all boils down to this: have a buddy that has some sense. Because when you shoot a deer and you're questioning yourself, you need somebody that because you get there's some people that's probably I know there's some people that can keep it together and is better than me. That's got the patience. But when it comes down to a big deer, you've worked all year and you've been looking, and you start going through. You need somebody that says, "Hey, calm down, come here." And even though it's like pulling a pit bull, that is, just
Oh yeah. But I think even the greatest bow hunters that know the truth, when you've released the arrow, stages make you think different.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm excited to open up the Abide Outdoors podcast. Man, we got so much we want to talk about.
Dude,
but
we got some stories. I'm telling you, that's gonna make you laugh so hard.
But the truth is
we're
every one
idiots.
of the stories that we have keeps pointing us back to God and the people that God's put in our life.
Sure.
And so this is a deer story, but it keeps putting us back to why we need the men that God put in our life.
Because
to be the
in
men.
that moment, I was not praying a lot.
You were furthest thing from praying. You were in the stage of disbelief and anger.
I wanted to punch everybody.
Yeah. And the guys were mad because we had a plan and you broke the plan because you
Yeah.
couldn't take it, man.
Yeah,
But you know
Daniel,
something?
I love you, Ryan. I'm sorry, I hair lipped them pretty bad.
But you know
Because-
what? You were going to go without me.
Dude,
You were going to go without me, and I was like, well, I'm not going to let
if the
you go
truck
alone.
wouldn't have cranked up, I would have walked.
Well, here's what happens. This little kind of filler for what's going to be coming. There's so much that God has revealed to us and showed to us in the outdoors. That's why it's called Abide here with Him and His Word. But we've been abiding in the outdoors for a long time, and He's revealed Himself to us.
Yep.
And there is so many cool stories that we cannot wait. This little teaser, just a little intro of what is to come. But there's so many stories that come. They are funny. There's some awesome.
There's
hunting
a lot of
stories.
stories you're going to have to peel a whole lot back to find the application of God.
Oh, some of them have nothing to do with
Some of
God.
them
This
have
is what
nothing
not to
with
do.
God. But there's some that's borderline psychotic, you know. And I'm gonna tell you something. We got a good buddy. His name's Scotty Hager. He's gonna be with us until one of these stories. And I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna laugh. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But we
Listen.
hope that this can help you on hunting and stuff too.
That when we bring a couple guys, we bring Jody Robinson. When we bring Jody Robinson on him, he's going to tell stories that we didn't kill a lot. We didn't kill a lot, but boy, we laughed and had a good time.
We did laugh and have a good time.
We spent a little money, and
Spent a little
we
money.
killed a lot of time, but man, we had fun. Laugh.
I didn't spend as much money as you would think, Andrea.
Yeah, no, yeah, he barely, yeah. But listen, I can't wait to unveil the Abide Outdoors that we can talk about abiding with Him and in the outdoors.
Yeah, so go check out Abide Men's Discipleship, but we got a lot of good stuff coming. It's going to be fun. We got getting ready for deer season 2025. We was talking the other day. It's going to be fun.
It's coming.
If you're not in the outdoors, you need to get in the outdoors more than that. You need to get your heart right with Jesus.
That's right.
We love you guys. Going to be shooting arrows. Going to be talking turkey, fishing, hunting, all kind of stuff. But like you said, this is just a little teaser on deer hunting. More coming at you.
Abide Outdoors.
We love you guys. God bless you.
God bless.
Catch you on the next side.